The Ohio State Buckeyes are about to get their season rolling. You're saying, JD, they've been playing games for a while now. No, I understand that. They got Iowa this week. Then you go to Oregon next week. Just to be real here, this is when Ohio State's season really gets rolling. So, one, make sure you're subscribed if you're an Ohio State Buckeye fan. We got a lot to talk about when it comes to your Buckeyes. Appreciate you being dialed in. Also want to make sure you know the hard count is brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Daily fantasy, easy to play, easy to withdraw what you win. All you got to do, pick 2 or more player projections. Pick more or less on those projections. We play exclusively college football on this show. And then you're off to the races. Using code HARDCOUNT now, $5 in lineups will get you $50 in promo funds, even if we don't win. Now, we have a play for you during the segment, so feel free to fade or follow. But again, that code, $50 in promo funds when you play $5 in lineups using code HARDCOUNT. So you got Iowa this week, right? Good test. Good test. They are exactly who you would believe Iowa to be. Now, the offensive side still kind of getting things rolling are the Hawkeyes. They're allowing 18 points a game, and they are top 25 in America when it comes to time of possession. Translation, a lot of punts, a lot of field position more than likely, going to make you earn it offensively. And Ohio State, man, let's be real, it's all coming together right now. It hasn't been without any resistance. Marshall gives you their best shot. You got Michigan State giving you their best shot, and that's to be expected. When you wear these colors, man, the scarlet and gray, that's pretty much what you sign up for. You are everybody's Super Bowl, all right? We all understand that. However, Ohio State, the encouraging thing in both those games, collect themselves, no worries. At the end of the day, Ohio State's Ohio State, and they're just more talented than you. They're going to put it together, execute, and find a way to roll, all right? And that's exactly what's happened to this point in the season, especially these last 2 games. Now, the defense, really rolling. We talked so much in the offseason about all the pieces defensively and the Jim Knowles scheme and all those things. And yes, you haven't played anybody, but to this point looked exactly how it's supposed to look. Allowing 7 points a game. That'll work. Allowing 3.3 yards a play. Top 3 in America. Yes, that will also work. Now, again, it's going to get tested a little bit more here when you play teams like Oregon. And we'll see what Iowa brings to the table here. But at the end of the day, right now, the lack of news, the lack of excitement when it comes to talking about the Ohio State defense is all in all, really good news. Now, offensively, this is something we hit on a few times throughout the course of the early parts of the season. I get it's Western Michigan. I get it's Marshall. I understand it's Michigan State, and no shade to Michigan State. You would hope they can figure it out here going forward under Jonathan Smith. I guess not if you're an Ohio State fan, but you catch my drift here. You have, I believe, multiple top dudes at their position, like real number 1 guys you can go to on your offense. It's pretty obvious. You got 2 number 1 running backs. There's no RB1, RB2. There is 2 RB1s. Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. They are eating, and they are eating greedy. All right? Now, on the perimeter, you got Emeka Egbuka, who you knew would be a stud. You knew he was wide receiver 1 kind of caliber player. But then you got Jeremiah Smith, who one of my coworkers here on 3, Ari Wasserman, says he might already be the best wide receiver in college football. Okay, even the fact that that's a discussion that can have some traction and we can have a conversation about should tell us a lot of what we need to know. Now, is he the best wide receiver in college football? That's another discussion for another time, but you hear what I'm saying. You got 2, I believe, wide receiver 1 caliber players on this offense. So what does that tell you? Anywhere we want it, we can get it. We want to run the ball 30 times, we can do that. We want to throw the ball 40 times, we can do that. Now, I think, quite frankly, Chip Kelly would probably want to run the ball 30 times before he throws it 40 times, but you hear what I'm saying. Now, here's what I think is a little bit frustrating to me when we talk about Ohio State when it comes to, the narrative around them. I keep hearing this. Well, as long as Will Howard doesn't screw it up, well, as long as Will Howard doesn't just totally sink this thing, Ohio State's going to be in good shape. And in some ways, I suppose that's true for every quarterback. If your quarterback gives it away like Halloween candy, yeah, we're going to have issues. But Ohio State didn't bring Will Howard to Columbus just to not mess it up. If you wanted to bring somebody in to play mistake-free football, just to kind of be a game manager, you would have kept Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord, what he's doing at Syracuse, I don't believe is some fluke or something Ohio State didn't think he was capable of. Kyle McCord, if we're talking about not messing it up, had less interceptions a season ago than Will Howard. Now you say, well, JD, he threw 2 in the game you can't throw 2 in. Yes, I understand that. But if it was truly about just game management, what's around the quarterback, don't give it away, there's no need to bring in Will Howard. I think you brought in Will Howard to be a difference maker for you. what he does running the football, what he does when it comes to adding that extra element to the offense, the experience factor, all those things. You didn't bring Will Howard in here just to be a bona fide check down and handoff artist and just be a cog in the machine. Now you got to play your role. I don't think they'll ask Will Howard to be, the end-all, be-all for them in every single game, but make no mistake about it now. If Ohio State wants to win a national title, and if you're watching this and you're in Columbus, Ohio, you're screaming at your screen saying, dude, of course we want a national title. That's why you go to Ohio State. Hear you. With that being the case, there's going to be a point in time where Will Howard has got to win the football game for you. Now, that could be against Oregon. That could be in the Big Ten championship game. That could be in the college football playoff. That could be against Michigan. But there is going to be a time where you say, 18, we got this far. The matchup is pretty even for whatever reason at this point in the game, whether they schemed us well, whether we're dinged up, whatever it looks like. We need you as the guy who touches the football every single snap to go be the difference. It could be making a throw. It could be scrambling for a first down. It could be design quarterback run. I don't know, and I don't care what it looks like. At some point in time, Will Howard will have to be the difference maker for you. So let's not do this whole thing where it's like, oh, man, if he can just keep the car in the right lane. And, yes, that's going to be his job most of the time. But to win the national championship, your quarterback will have to make the difference against what I believe will be somewhat comparable roster talent operations. I think he can do it, but I think it starts with October, and Iowa will be the first test. Oregon will be the, I think, most telling test, if you will, when it comes to the Buckeyes. But when it comes to our prize picks play we like against Iowa, the total for his rushing and passing yards around Will Howard in the Iowa game, 262.5. I'm going to take the less there, not because I don't think Will Howard is capable, but because I don't know what the game flow of this thing is going to be like. It could be low scoring. If I'm Iowa, I'm probably trying to keep the Ohio State offense off the field as best I can. So I'll take the less than on the 262.5 on the rushing and passing yards combined. I'll also take the less than on Cade McNamara total pass yards. His number is 123.5. I'll take the less there. I'll pair those together, and I'll use code HARDCOUNT, $5 in lineups, $50 in promo funds, all right? So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're fading or following. Also, just so we're on the same page, using that code over at prizepicks.com is just a great way to support the show and to let the folks at Prize Picks know that you're dialed into the hard count and just pretty much let them know what this audience is all about. So we appreciate y'all being dialed in. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.